you imagine it's our 10th anniversary? Guide Us TV on the air for 10 years already. Wow. And we want to keep going and growing. And how you can do that? Join us. Be part of what we are doing with Recite on TV, Bridge to Faith, Simple Reminders with Abu Hafsa, all of these great programs and more coming to you 24 hours a day. No commercials, no advertising. Just pure Islam with Quran every hour, with reminders throughout the day what the Hadith teaches. These programs are the only collection coming to us here in America from America, and you can be part of it. Guide US TV. Keep it on. Keep it going. Keep it growing. Stay guided with Guide Us TV. Can you imagine it's our 10th anniversary? Guide Us TV on the air for 10 years already. Wow. And we want to keep going and growing. And how you can do that? Join us. Be part of what we are doing with Recite on TV, Bridge to Faith, Simple Reminders with Abu Hafsa, all of these great programs and more coming to you 24 hours a day. No commercials, no advertising. Hey everybody, we're on live right now. That's what they told me. Yeah, I got the control booth that tell me today that we are on the air. Yes, sir. And you know what? We went out today and had some fun. Yes, sir. We took the trailer out to dump the to the dump station to clean it up. All right. But while we were there, look it. I want to show you guys. Can you see it? You see this? These are the pictures that I took. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And these are videos. What do you think? Is that cool? Let me put it where you can see it better. That's where we were. Yeah, this is Southern California. If you don't like what it looks like in one direction, just turn a little bit and look in another direction. Everything is beautiful here. This is really God's country. Of course, the whole universe belongs to Allah. But look at this. I even got excited about some stones, big giant boulders out there. So I took the chance to go ahead and photograph them too. Anywhere you see green on here, you're going to see the screen in the background because the screen behind me is not real. It's just green as this is. So yeah, there you go. Yay! Is that cool? Oh, man, we had fun. We had a lot of fun out there today. Yeah. Dumping your garbage is fun if you know how to do it, right? Last night, okay, seriously, last night we talked about the subject of what the Bible, what the Quran have, and the discussion that we got into was really from the point of view of scholars of the Bible. And I was quoting some of the scholars, and of course, Richard Kiefer, who will be with us shortly. And not that he's short, I mean short time period, all right? Okay, there you go. I'm not calling him Shorty. But anyway, so we're going to have him again tonight, and we're going to continue this discussion. But in the meantime, I thought it'd be kind of cool if we could just take a look at some of the other videos that we've had in the past. Let me see if I can pull those up for you and let you look at them. Oh yeah, this is so much fun. I really, this is the part of what we do that I consider to be entertaining for me, because I love to take pictures. I love to record stuff. And so whenever I get a chance to do that, of course, that's fun for me. Whether or not it's actually fun for somebody else, but yeah, it is fun for me. Let me see if we can pull some of those up right now. Let me see if I can pull that up. We'll go to the drive and okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm watching this stuff instead of sharing it with you. Sorry. Let me see if I can pull this up so that we can all enjoy it. I got to refresh it. And then we're going to look at it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let's see if we can put this up where you can see it. There's some of the things that, this is one of the things that we made, and you might have seen this recently.
Thanks to all of you for watching,
here it is.
Sharing,
we made this,
and spending your time with us on Guide Us TV. And remember, tell everyone, stay guided with Guide Us TV. Guide Us TV, first Islam channel in U.S.
Stay guided with Guide Us TV.
How is that for fun? We made that right here in our studios. This is our, what do they call it? Remote studio. Because, whoa, we got Sister Kim with us tonight. Is that right, Sister Kim?
Yes, that is correct.
MashaAllah. It's great to have you with us tonight.
The one that you ever did was one that you launched the satellite.
Oh, the one where I throw the cable up in the air and say, I keep trying and I'll get the satellite?
Yes.
That was a fun one to do. We have a whole lot of the ones that we actually didn't publish out there. We just put them like outtakes. And that was a fun one we did. That was before I moved into that house. It's a rent house, but before I moved into it, they had just cut all these trees, big trees. They had cut them all down, and I was like, "Wow!" But they were high enough you could sit on the stumps, and they were about this big around, huge, big. Okay, so what we did, we put some stuff out there, and there was a real heavy computer that somebody donated to us. We used it, and then it became outdated. It was so old, and it was so heavy. And a brother and I were carrying that thing, trying to get it out of the place where we had it stored because it was so big. And we got up to that stump. I said, put it down, put it down. We put it down. And we said, you know what, let's do it tomorrow. Let's finish it tomorrow because we're just going to take it to the dump anyway. And you know, it sat there for about 3 years. Now, I'm not joking. And when the satellite passed over for Google, you know, Google satellite, it took a picture of it and you could see it. You could see that shiny silver looking thing on a tree stump. And I started laughing and laughing. And I said, I got to do a joke about this one. And that's when we took the jumper cables and the ropes and all this stuff. And we said, oh, okay, this is how you do it. You don't need all this expensive stuff. You just get an old computer here and hook it up and throw the... Oh, man, it was a lot of fun. Anyway, alhamdulillah. Sister, tell us, what's going on there in your part of Arizona? What's happening?
Oh, it's been a quiet day. It was nice and cool out today, about 61 degrees, and we had some heavy winds. So that kicked up some dust, and you didn't want to be outside for too long, but alhamdulillah, it made for some great weather.
Well, you know what? One of the things that we've been talking about is what is expected in the cover-up for, we're not talking about the cover-up of facts or anything like that. I'm just talking about covering a person. Like I've got a cover on my head right now. This is considered one of the sunnahs of the Prophet ﷺ. He didn't always wear a cap, but he'd like to wear one sometimes. And whenever you're out in the desert, that's a real handy thing to have, because the sun can blister your head. And another thing is that it provides some protection whenever there's wind and sand and everything going on. And so caps are not just fine with Islam, they're actually kind of pushed onto people. However, the Prophet ﷺ didn't always wear one. Now, another thing that you see a lot of Muslims wear is a turban, where they wrap that big thing all around their head. I used to wear one. And then we found out that that was not the common practice of those folks in those days. However, if you want to wear a turban, it's okay. But the best thing to do is to cover yourself against the anger of Allah, and that's called taqwa. And Allah speaks about that immediately in the Quran, and He talks about it throughout the Quran. He also spoke about it a little bit in the Old Testament of the Bible, and people took it the wrong way because, and now I'm going to go into my topic for tonight. The subject is taqwa. And it's usually translated, and that's why I'm going to tell you about this, it's usually translated as fear God, brother, fear God, ittaqallah. But does it really mean that? Actually, Allah says in the Quran that He is al-wadud, and that means the loving. And He also mentioned something about this in the New Testament of the Bible. It's saying about the loving of God. However, it said, the Christians translated as God is love. What He is loving, which means it's not just a noun, it's a verb, it's an action. He is a loving God. And so how could the loving God want you to fear Him? Actually, it's not the fear of God as much as it is the fear of God's wrath or ghadab on the day of judgment. Because in the Quran, when you just read the beginning of it, the very 7 verses that started out, it says, Ihdina siratal mustaqim, guide us to the straight path. Siratul ladina an'amta alayhim, the path of those that have the favor of Allah. Yeah. Ghayrul maghdubi alayhim, but not the path of those who have the ghadab of Allah. Ghayrul maghdubi is from the word ghadab. Maghdubi alayhim, those people having the ghadab of Allah. What a darling, and those people that are lost or astray. So the ghadab here is talking specifically about the people who consciously know that they are not following God, they're not believing in God, they're not So this taqwa is having a reference to this, because read on. Ghayrul maghdubi alayhim waladallin. If you're praying, you say Ameen. Then it continues right after that. It said, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Alif Lam Mim, Dhalikul Kitabu la Rayba Fi, Hudal lil Muttaqin. Boom, that quick, you're finding out your answer, because it said Alif Lam Mim. These are 3 letters from the Arabic alphabet. And then it says, and this is what we got to pay attention to, that it's saying that is the book, not this is the book. It doesn't say hada kitab, it says dhalikal kitab. That means it is the book that's with Allah. That is the book that is with Allah. Dhalik means that, not this. So many times people, in almost all the translations, say this is the book. No, that is reference clearly to that book which is with Allah. It says it. And if you know Arabic, you know it said it. And you see the commentators, the famous commentators, they never said that Hada. they always mentioned it was Dhalik al-Kitab. And that is the book. That is no doubt in it. There is no doubt in the book this with Allah. All right? But then it goes on, Hudil lil muttaqin. It is Huda. Huda means guidance. Huda al mustaqim. And it is for the people who are on the straight path. This is the people that are being guided, and Hudal lil muttaqin, the muttaqin, sorry. And so that's what we understand. And then it said, watch this. Hudal lil muttaqin. What is muttaqin? What does it mean? Because mu in front of a verb is the one doing it. Taqin is from taqwa, and in at the end is the plural. Those who are having the taqwa for Allah. Taqwa meaning, and they translate it as fear, but the word for fear in Arabic is khawf. And it doesn't say that, but it says taqwa, and it's meaning a shield. Actually, I'm not joking. If you put up a shield, like you get behind something and put that up, here, let's do it like this. I've got a shield against you. All right. Yeah, put your shield up, taqwa, against the ghadab of Allah on the day of judgment. So that is what taqwa is really all about. It's not all about saying, I'm so afraid of God. I'm afraid of God. No, I'm afraid of the meeting with Allah on the day of judgment. That's what I'm afraid of. Yeah, and you could say, well, it boils down to the same thing, and you're probably right. But I wanted to be crystal clear about this so we can put everything in perspective. This is not supposed to be that we're terrified. Oh, God is it's not like that. God is very loving, and He's very forgiving. For the one who is trying their best, you cannot believe how much patience He has with that person, and how much forgiveness He has for that person, and how much compassion. Allah is the merciful. He is the beneficent. He is the compassionate. He is the one who is beyond everything when it comes to sabr. Sabr being steadfast, doesn't move off of that. He is going to stick with it, and He is sabr and patient, so patient with us that we can make mistake after mistake after mistake, but He is Al-Ghafur Rahim. He will forgive. And how do we know all about this? It's in the Quran. These are the names He calls Himself by. He has 99 names or attributes or characteristics, and He is the actual epitome of each one of these. Now, what does epitome mean? It means that He is the example. If you look up raccoon in the dictionary, what do you think you're going to see a picture of? It's not going to be a rabbit and say, well, they're both rodents. No, it's not going to be a mouse or a rat. It's going to be an actual raccoon. Why? Because He is the epitome of that word. Sister, am I making any sense off of what I'm saying here?
Oh, yes, you're making total sense. I did have one question, and I hate to ask it in case it takes us off subject, but you mentioned that at the beginning of Surah Baqarah, it refers to that book. And I know that Allah has also written down all our deeds. He knows them long before we do, no?
Hold on. I want to caution you about something. We don't say that Allah writes, because that would be a physical description of what He does. And He didn't say that. Allah says that He created the pen, and then He ordered the pen to write. And the pen wrote until it wrote down everything that was going to happen. And then the pen was put up and the ink was dried before He created. Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
So that's
much more accurate than what I said.
well. I'm with you. I'm with you 100% because I used to say the same thing, and then a scholar takes me aside and gently says, "Sheikh, maybe it would be better if you would actually say the translation of the hadith." I said, "Translation hadith? I didn't know that. I just heard somebody saying something and la la la." He said, "Never mind, never mind. Just here's the understanding. We don't say that Allah writes something down because that compares him to the creation. We say what he said, and it is that Allah created the pen, the qalam. Qalam is the word for pen in Arabic, and he commanded it to write, and it wrote until it had written down everything. And this is the book with Allah. This is the book of everything that's in it. It's even every mistake that I'm making right now in my speech and in the broadcast. Every single thing in the whole universe at this split second has already been written down, and that also been written down. And the fact that I stuttered on the word also been written down. All of these things that you did, I'm doing, and all the universe is doing is all written down. So it's not a pen like anything that we know about, and it's not a book like anything we know about. And that's how we can get this together, that Allah already knows everything that's going to happen because he's the one who commanded the pen what to write in details. And if you said, well, wait a minute, now this is where we get into another subject. When we talk about the qadr of Allah, qadr of Allah means what he wills to do. Okay, like if he said, be and it is, kun fayakun, that's the qadr of Allah. Kun fayakun means literally be and it is. All right, and when he says that, there's no stopping what he said. Also, if he orders something not to be, it's not going to be. That's as simple as it gets. At the same time, though, we have to understand that all of this still is based on our choices. And if you said, whoa, you mean I can choose to do something than other what Allah wrote? Ha ha! No. I mean that whatever you decided to do, Allah already knew about it when he created you. And if you said, well, that's not fair, that means he made me do it. Nope. He gave you free will, but he already knew what you were going to do with it. Allah's knowledge is not like your knowledge. So he has everything under control. All you have to do is decide right now to do something about it. And that is, you choose to submit, surrender, and obey God. And if you do that, that was already written for you anyway. And he's just waiting for you to do what he knows you're going to do on that exact moment. And if you said, well, I'm just going to rock on and do some more stuff and then I can get away with that. All right, go ahead. Now, here's something else, though. You and I do not know exactly when we're going to die, but he does. So if you want to wait till the last minute and say, oh God, please forgive me, but you'd have to be real sincere in that, and you'd have to understand that it's up to him to forgive you or not. Then all of your bad deeds would be working for you because they would be flipped over to good deeds. Yay! But if you died and you didn't do that, so I advise myself and all of us that as soon as you understood what I just said, immediately stop anything bad that you're doing, especially the worship of something other than Allah. And this includes good luck charms. Oh yeah, there's no such thing as a good luck shirt. No. Yeah. No. And there's no such thing as a good luck rabbit's foot. It wasn't lucky for the rabbit, was it? He's walking around on crutches now. That's a joke. Anyway, so if you stop and think about it for a minute, it means that we really are responsible for everything we do. And the sooner that we admit that and then accept the responsibility and start acting like we were created to do in the first place, which is to worship God alone without any partners. Do that for yourself. Don't do it for me. That would be showing off, and that wouldn't count anyway. Between you and the one that created you, get the heart right. And there's nothing I can tell you after that. If you don't want to do that, wasting your time and mine too. All right. So, sister, any comment about that?
You said that there's no good luck charms and stuff like that, which I understand, because to put your faith in an object other than your faith in the law is shirk. But what about like jewelry with the word Allah on it? If you're not putting any faith in it that it's going to protect you, and you're wearing it just to say, look at what I believe in, what do you say about that?
Well, it's not really important what I say as much as it's important as what people think about the fact that they're holding an object that's something that they can hold in their hand, for crying out loud. And how can this be a benefit to anybody? And it costs money. And for all the world, it's some people say it's a reminder. But that's just one step away from saying, well, it's an icon. An icon means that it's something that you look at and you accept that to represent something. An icon represents something, like a logo. You know what the word logo means, right?
Yes, I do.
What does it mean?
Logo is a symbol that represents.
No. What does it mean from the language? What language is it from?
Greek.
Yeah.
Logo from the Greek. Oh, I couldn't answer that.
It's easy. You know what the word? What is the word for logos?
Word.
There he is. There's the man with the word right there. His camera's kind of too high, but yeah, we got it. We know who he is. MashaAllah. And you came up with it at the right time. The word actually, logo, comes from logos. They always like to put the nouns, they like to put an S at the end of them. So, yeah, in Greek, it's called logos. And that is what is mentioned in the Bible, in the Greek New Testament. It's mentioned so many times. And it says that Jesus is the Logos. This was a reference. They said he is the Word. However, and we'll let Richard pick it up from there. Salam alaikum, Richard Kuiper.
Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam. Sorry I'm a little late. We hit a milestone here in Michigan today, at least in our household. My son, who has been vaccinated, and my wife and I have been vaccinated. We were finally, after long year, able to get together and have them out here for a dinner with the grandchildren and give them hugs. And so we partied hardy today.
Party hardy. I like that. I like it.
Enjoyed the opportunity to give a hug, and it just felt really, really good. So we were busy. My son has two very active, there's a good word, very active boys. One is 7 and the other is 5. And they're just active. So I was sitting in a chair kind of worn out. Just like, man, a long, fun afternoon, but they wear you out. But yeah, in the beginning was the Logos, and the Logos was with God, and the Logos was God. It's God's word.
Yeah, exactly. That I want to pick up with that. I think that's at the beginning of John Gospel.
John 1, yeah.
Is it right?
Yes, John 1.
Yeah, and actually, you know where this actually came from? Dr. Bilal Phillips researched this, and he reported where that whole expression, in the beginning was God, and the God was one, and the God, etc., all that. But it didn't come from Jesus. You know where it came from?
No, I don't.
Yeah, it came out of a part of Africa in the north part, probably in what's now Egypt, but that's where it actually came from. Yeah, it was posted on something, and they translated that, and people were repeating that and thought it was really cool, but it wasn't. It was before there was the Bible. So yeah.
Yes, and
break.
Oh, take a break. Take a break. Okay, we can take a break. Let's talk about the pen and how to get a free bumper sticker. Yay! Stay tuned. Stay guided with
Guide Us TV.
I love the way they say that. Worship the Creator, not the creation. That's what Guide Us TV is all about. And now we have the new app, guideus.app. Download the app, and it will take up no space on your device. Works on all devices, all phones, all tablets, all computers, anywhere there's internet, it works. And there's more. If you want to know who that Creator is, if you want to share the message of worship the Creator, not the creation, you can just as easily tell anybody, anywhere, download the app. Just go to the browser, type in the word guideus.app. Simple. Install it, and no ads. No spam, no commercials, no space on your device. Win, 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 all the way around. And if you want to know more about that Creator, let me tell you, it's like a pen, a simple pen. That's the story. If you have a pen and I ask you to borrow it, and I'm writing something, and you say, wait a minute, I don't want to leave this guy because he's got my pen. And when I get done, I put it all back together. I hand it to you and you walk off. All right. You got that? But what would happen if this pen didn't write anymore? You'd throw it away. Why? Because it doesn't do its purpose. What is its purpose? To write. If it doesn't write, who needs a pen that doesn't write? And that is the message of our purpose in life with our Creator. He said in the Quran, in Surah Al-Dariyat, chapter 55, verse 56. Okay, we're going to come back right now and get started with our program tonight. We've been talking about several words. We talked about a word called taqwa. And taqwa means to have a shield against Allah's anger on the day of judgment. So we fear the anger of Allah, no doubt. But it isn't that we fear Allah in general, because Allah is loving. And we depend on His love, His mercy, beneficence, His compassion, and all of these things. Allah is so amazing. And there's none like unto Him. Then another word that we spoke about was the word logos. And it turns out that this word logos means word. And when we understand that, then we can understand a lot of things. For instance, and I'd just take this one opportunity to talk about something that when I was still a Christian and I had a question about the Bible, and I presented this to someone, and he gave me an answer. The answer actually was in a video too, but this is so amazing that somebody would come up with something like this. And the question was, how about it when it says in the Bible about swords? And they said, no, there's no word, there's no reference. That's in your Quran. Okay. But I looked in the Quran, and there's no reference to swords anywhere, any place, any time in the Quran. No. There's no word sword. There's no word Muhammad or Saif or Khanja or any of the words that mean a dagger or a spear or a weapon like that. It's not mentioned. That's interesting because it's 200 times the word sword in the Bible. In Strong's Concordance, I found that. But before I did all of that, before I knew all of that, I asked about why is it saying Jesus say he came with a sword? He said, no, you don't understand. I love that whenever people tell me I don't understand. I can read English, you know. So he's saying, you didn't understand. That was the word, W-O-R-D. And I said, well, why does it say sword? And he said, no, Jesus came with a word, not with a sword. I said, well, here it is in the Bible. It says, Jesus said, I came with a sword. He said, no. And I said, well, and he said, if you don't have a sword, then buy a sword. Sell your coat and buy a sword. He said, no. Let me tell you what that was. See, back in those days, and I don't know what days he meant, but he said back in those days when copyists were working in Latin, they were dealing with the Latin language. In Italy, everybody used to speak Latin. I said, okay. And he said, and you have to know that those people, and they love spaghetti. Italy loves spaghetti, right? I said, okay. So, they were probably eating some spaghetti. They're working by candlelight late at night, and a piece of spaghetti dropped down and it looked like an S, but it was in front of the word. And so they thought that meant, because even if you picked it up, that would leave that little stain of the tomato paste there, and that would actually look kind of like the ink. And so they thought that meant sword. Now, anybody in their right mind, based on what I just said, can realize that is so fake, because that means that they would have had to drop that same size piece of spaghetti in so many places. When it said, I came with this, think not that I came with peace, I came with a sword, all right? And then if you don't have a sword, sell your coat and buy a sword. Well, it's lucky they didn't, if you have, sell your coats, maybe, and then buys as swords, drop your spaghetti all over. But the problem is that the word sword did not exist until after the English language was formed. And that was in 1066 AD. So what are you telling me? The word in the Koine Greek was logos, and it already had an S at the end of it. Are you saying that he dropped it in the beginning, so it said slogos? I mean, come on. So let's ask Richard. What happened to Richard?
I'm right here. Haven't gone anywhere.
Oh, okay. There you
Are
go.
you still there?
Yeah.
What is the reference on that sword verse? Do you have that handy in front of you?
What you mean the thing that the guy said to me?
No. The Jesus said he came with a sword. I'm looking for that.
Think not, I came with peace. I came with a sword. That will be in Matthew 10:34.
Okay.
10:34. You've read it many times, I'm sure.
Yeah. I just needed to look at it real quick there.
You know what? The video on your side is freezing up. Can you raise up your head for a second?
Yeah.
Move your... Okay. Now, oh no, it's freezing. Every time you move, it freezes again.
Come on. Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Sister Kim, yours is always frozen. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. I'm very good at staying in one place. But yes, Richard, you're freezing up.
So let me just go audio then.
Yeah, I actually, that's a good idea. We'll just work forward for this. But I can put this up on the screen, and people can, I think, let me see if I can put that up there.
While you're working on that, I did a search and I came up with 37 references to the sword in the Bible.
In the New Testament alone, there's over 220. See, Matthew 10:34 says, "Do not think that I have come to bring peace to the earth. I have not come to bring peace, but a sword." And how can somebody read that and say, Jesus came with peace? You're calling him a liar. If you say that, you're calling him a liar. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is the one who came to bring salam. Islam is from the same root as salam. Salam is peace. MashaAllah. Take a look at it again.
How do we get the shield? Taqwa.
Yeah. My boss just came in and asked me, how do we get the shield? And so I need to put that up. Let's stop talking about the Bible. Yeah, okay. What is taqwa? The shield of Islam. Taqwa. Let me see if it pops up. Yeah. Actually, this is one of the things from our link. Let me put that up there where everybody can see it. Okay. Yeah. I'm having trouble centering this thing tonight, but guys, be patient with me here a little bit. Okay. Oh, now that's freezing up on me. Huh. Well, I guess it's cold outside, so everything's freezing. Okay. It says taqwa, fear Allah, God consciousness, and the righteous piety. All right. So you can see right away that most of the times Muslims will say it's fear Allah. But it is not the fear of Allah. It's the fear of one aspect that Allah is only going to have on one day. One day. It's going to be a long day, like several hundred or thousand years or something like that, but it's a day. And that's the day he's going to have ghadab. And how can we build the shield against this ghadab? All right. So let's start out with a blank shield. Okay, that didn't work. Let me try another way. Well, let's just put that up. Okay. So we'll start with this blank shield. All right. Now, think about you're in a battle of something, or something's attacking you. Maybe you're walking through a big cave, or something's coming at you, bats or things, and you want to shield yourself. Now, obviously, it's talking about a physical thing you can do, but it's also a mental thing you can do. It's mental and it's physical. That's also spiritual, as a matter of fact. Because I want to develop this automatic shield so that whenever something comes my way, I'm protected. And how can I do that? Well, first thing is, let's read the rest of the verses in the Quran applicable to that topic. We already said that right after we learned that we have to fear the ghadab of Allah. It is telling us what's coming up. And it says that this is the protection for you. It says, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. And it is guidance. The book is the guidance for those who have the taqwa, the shield. But it doesn't tell you yet what that shield is. It just says that the book, the Quran, is the shield for those who have taqwa. Guidance for the people of taqwa. How do I get the taqwa? Then it says the very next word, alladina, those guys. Okay, who do what? Alladina yu'minuna bil ghaib. These are the people who believe in the unseen. Do you believe in God? You know, anybody saw something, it ain't God. If you could see it, smell it, taste it, feel it, hear it, it ain't God. Simple as that. All right? So people saw Jesus. They heard Jesus, peace be upon him. Some people even kissed him. Some people even imagined him. And if you can imagine it, or see it, or taste it, or feel it, or smell it, or hear it, it is not God, because God is not like anything he created. Simple. All right? So we believe in al-ghaib. So we got 1 point in our favor already. So we're building our shield. Yeah. What's next? Alladhina yu'minuna bil ghaibi wa yuqimuna salah. Now, it says, and those who establish their salah. Most Muslims in the planet, all around the planet, are going to say that's prayers. But that's because they don't know how to translate from Arabic to English correctly. And they're accepting what somebody else said, and somebody else accepted what somebody else said, and they all around the planet, everywhere I go, I hear Muslims say, I got to do my prayers. Okay, that's okay. We can pray, but did you do salah? Well, brother, that's the same thing. Nope. No, it is not. This is prayers. For the English speaker, he understands it right away. This is prayers. And in Arabic, this is called dua. This is called dua. Make dua for me. We don't say make salat for me. That wouldn't make any sense. So pray for me? Yes, dua. All right? So what is the word salah? If you know Arabic, sila. The same word. Sila and salah, same word. And you write it down and look at it without the diacritical marks, then you'll be like, it's the same word. Yep. This is the different pronunciation. Sila, salah. Okay, what is it? Connection. It's a connection. So you make a connection with your Lord to open up and do your prayers. Salah is connection. So anybody can do dua, but only Muslims are getting the connection. The connection is the salah, and that's the big deal. So yes, the first thing is to believe in the unseen. Allah is in the unseen. Another thing of the ghaib, the unseen, is the paradise. Nobody has seen it, except Prophet ﷺ, maybe something like this, and the hellfire. Okay, and the jinn, and the angels. All of these things are in the unseen, but if you can believe that, then okay, you're good to go. And these are coming in the right order too. It's not just a random order. The first thing is to believe in Allah and the unseen. Okay, then to establish your connection with Allah for your du'as or your prayers to be established and accepted. Okay. Then what else? الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. Now they have to spend out of their rizq, their daily provisions, their daily bread. If you know the New Testament, you spend that on others who are less fortunate than you. In other words, charity. You cannot be a true believer unless you are willing to establish charity. Oh yeah, because if you're not willing to give to others, then Allah's not going to give you anything good on the Day of Judgment. Yes, that's a part of it. Is there more? Yeah. Alladina yu'minuna bima unzila ilayka. and also they believe in what is sent down to you. And this is talking to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They believe in what is sent down to you, Muhammad. But no, wait a minute. That is not going to stop there. And that is why we always love to visit with the Christians and the Jews, the children of Israel, because it says, Alladina yu'minuna bima unzila ilayka wa ma unzila min qablik, and what was sent down before you. Now, yes, if we want to talk about, I said this last night, if we want to talk about the Bible being the Word of God, absolutely every Muslim knows that. They might not know that they know it. They might not understand how it is in the Quran, but that is exactly what we believe. We believe that the real Bible in the original language, which is either in Hebrew or Aramaic or in Arabic. So if you want to talk about the Bible, we're ready. We love it. We know what the Bible said in places because it's mentioned in the Quran that Allah said this, Noah said that, and Moses said this, Abraham said that. So we know it very clear, crystal clear. I mean, when you come to a Muslim and try to tell them about religion, it's like going to Noah and telling him about the flood. That's a place where all of my guests are supposed to start laughing, all right? Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. So anyway, the thing that we're talking about here is how to get the taqwa, how to get the shield. And what are the things that will help me build my shield? And one of the things that we can do right away is read this verse. This is in one verse. It says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون. So there's the last part of it. What is to believe in the what? Yukinun. Is to believe in the resurrection. If you don't believe in the resurrection, you're really not a Christian. And if you don't believe in the resurrection, you're not a Muslim either. Because this is what it takes to have the full taqwa of Allah. You have to believe that you will be brought back. There is another life after this life, and you will be brought back, and you will be back in your body, and you will be standing there on the day of judgment. And by the way, nobody is going to intercede for you one iota. Illa, except for what Allah wills. Yes. There's nobody that's going to be to intercede for you. This is in the Quran. It says it very clear. That when in Ayatul Kursi, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Allahu la ilaha illahu, al-hayyul qayyum, la ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm, lahu ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard, man dhalladhi yashfa'u indahu illa bi'idhnih. Who is there that could come between Allah and what He's created, except that He has to give him permission to do so? Okay. Yeah. Very clear. Sister, is that what you understood already?
It is what I understood, but it does raise the question. I've also heard that, for example, your joints will testify for you on the day of judgment that you used your body to...
Actually, sister, this is almost right, but it's the opposite. Your body is not going to testify for you, your body's going to testify against you.
Ah.
Your skin, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, your hands, your feet, your spine, your skin itself, every part of your body is going to be saying, you know what he made me look at? Your eyes are going to say that. And your ears, you know what he made me listen to? Oh. And the hands, you know what he made me do? Ah. And the feet, oh. This is not the worst. The feet is going to say, you know where he made me take him? Oh. But the worst is the tongue. You know what he made me say? Oh. And all of that is going to be running right like a video of you doing all these things that you did. And that's the day of resurrection. This is why that it is so, so immense. And this is the Yom Kiyama. That's the day of standing upright, because nobody's going to get to sit down all on that day. Can you imagine standing for hundreds of years in one day? Oh, it's all one day. And the sun is brought close to us, so close that we're standing in our own sweat up to our neck. Ugh. And wait, we're not fully dressed because you don't have any clothes on at all, and nobody cares. This is like the nightmare of nightmares. The only thing worse than that is the hellfire. But the good news, if anybody even has so much as an ounce of goodness in them, a sincere goodness, and is a believer in God, then they can be excused from all this punishment. This is why we encourage our brothers and sisters to really think seriously about what it is that we have in our hands, what we can do with our minds and work for the good of Islam. If we can just do that, get that together, and spend some time with people that make you think about Allah, that may remind you of the day after, the Yawm al-Qiyamah or Yawm al-Akhir. Akhir means after. After everything is gone, then starts the day of standing, and also after that is Yawm al-Hisab. So these are 3 days. Yawm in Hebrew and Arabic is the same word. It means day. Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement, and Yawm al-Akhir, the day after, all of it's gone. And then Yawm al-Qiyamah, the day of standing, and Yawm al-Hisab, the day of settling up all your accounts between you and Allah and between all the other people. And we'll have to pick it up tomorrow, because guess what? I talked myself right out of an hour. Sister, tell us what we need to do now.
Is we need to stay tuned and stay guided with Guide Us TV.
Yeah, that's a real good idea. I like that. Let's do that. Stay guided. Thanks to all of you for watching, sharing, and spending your time with us on Guide Us TV. And remember, tell everyone, stay guided with Guide Us TV.
Guide Us TV, first Islam channel in U.S. Stay guided with Guide Us TV.
Thanks to all of you for watching, sharing, and spending your time with us on Guide Us TV. And remember, tell everyone, stay guided with Guide Us TV.
Guide Us TV, first Islam channel in U.S. Stay guided with Guide Us TV.
Thanks to all of you for watching, sharing,
A is for Allah, nothing but Allah. Ba is the beginning of Bismillah.